The original Star Trek series, created by Gene Roddenberry, first aired in 1966 and has since become a beloved and iconic piece of sci-fi television history. While many fans consider themselves experts on the show, there are still plenty of fascinating facts and behind-the-scenes stories that even the most die-hard Trekkies may not know. Here are 21 things you probably didn't know about the original Star Trek series. 1. The famous Vulcan hand salute, performed by raising the hand with the palm forward and separating the middle and ring fingers, was actually based on a Jewish blessing gesture that Roddenberry witnessed as a child. 2. The original pilot episode of Star Trek, titled The Cage, was rejected by NBC for being too intellectual and too cerebral. The network requested a second pilot, which led to the creation of the iconic series we know today. 3. William Shatner, who played Captain James T. Kirk, was initially hesitant to take on the role because he didn't want to be typecast as a sci-fi actor. Thankfully, he eventually changed his mind and went on to become synonymous with the character. 4. Leonard Nimoy, who portrayed the iconic Spock, was not the first choice for the role. Gene Roddenberry originally wanted DeForest Kelley, who played Dr. Leonard "Bones" McCoy, to play Spock. However, Nimoy's audition blew everyone away, and he ultimately won the part. 5. The character of Mr. Spock was almost entirely different in the original pilot. In The Cage, Spock was a more emotional and aggressive character, but Roddenberry decided to dial back these traits in favor of making him a more logical and stoic Vulcan. 6. The series was groundbreaking in its portrayal of diversity and equality. It featured one of the first interracial kisses on American television between Captain Kirk and Lieutenant Uhura, played by William Shatner and Nichelle Nichols, respectively. 7. The iconic Starship Enterprise model used in the show was actually repurposed from another failed sci-fi show called The Lost in Space. 8. The show's famous transporter effect was created using a combination of glitter and backlit animation. 9. The show's iconic theme song, composed by Alexander Courage, almost didn't happen. Originally, Roddenberry wanted a more traditional orchestral score, but Courage insisted on a more modern, upbeat theme. 10. Nichelle Nichols, who played Lieutenant Uhura, almost left the show after the first season. She was considering pursuing a career on Broadway but was convinced to stay by none other than Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who told her that her role was groundbreaking for African American representation on television. 11. The character of Captain Kirk was almost named Captain April in the original pilot episode. 12. The show's famous red shirt trope, where crew members wearing red uniforms are more likely to die on away missions, was introduced as a cost-saving measure. The red dye was the cheapest color to use for costumes. 13. The show's creator, Gene Roddenberry, had a rule about not allowing weapons to be fired on the Starship Enterprise. This was later relaxed in the series as it became more action-oriented. 14. The show's famous catchphrase, "Beam me up, Scotty," was never actually said in that exact form in the original series. 15. The show's set designer, Matt Jefferies, incorporated a lot of real-world technology into the design of the Enterprise, including using aircraft parts for the ship's interior. 16. George Takei, who played Lieutenant Sulu, is a devout fan of the show and has appeared in numerous Star Trek spin-offs and projects over the years. 17. The Klingon language, created by linguist Mark Okrand, was first introduced in the original series and has since become a fully developed language with its grammar and vocabulary. 18. The show's iconic phaser weapons were originally called laser guns in early drafts of the script. 19. The show was ahead of its time in addressing social issues. Episodes tackled topics such as racism, war, and environmentalism, often using allegory to explore these themes. 20. The show's iconic phaser weapons were actually modified toy guns that were repainted and fitted with blinking lights for on-screen use. 21. The show's cancellation after 3 seasons was a blow to fans, but its enduring popularity led to a successful film franchise and multiple spin-off series that continue to be beloved by audiences around the world. The original Star Trek series may have only lasted 3 seasons, but its impact on popular culture and science fiction is immeasurable. With its groundbreaking storytelling, diverse cast, and imaginative world building, it continues to inspire generations of fans to boldly go where no one has gone before.